Hey guys, I'm Matt from King Machinery, and today we want to do a video about backhoes. Do you want a backhoe? Do you not want a backhoe? How do they work? Lots of different things you can talk about. Today we have 3 Emax 20s. So these are the smallest tractor that we sell here at King Machinery, made by Mahindra. You would be surprised how strong they are. I'm not here to sell you the tractor or anything, but 2 of these tractors have a backhoe on them, 1 does not. So I want to start off by telling you there are 2 types of backhoes. There is the subframe connection, which you're going to see here today, and then there is a 3-point hitch backhoe connection that you can buy. That is an aftermarket thing, and we really don't recommend it because it stresses things and it's probably not the best thing for it. You want to be hooked into the subframe, especially for the hard work you're going to be doing. So come along with us. Make sure you subscribe, like, and get notifications from us. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel, and we appreciate all the views so far. Here we go. So we have this one Emax 20 facing away from the building, so we can show you how to operate the backhoe. Step 1, you're going to jump on the seat, crank it up. You have to be sitting in the seat to start the machine because there's a pressure sensor on them. It's just a safety mechanism to keep it from rolling off on you or anything like that. So you get it started up, and on some models there's a seat that is with the backhoe on the back. With the Emax 20 and some of the others, you use the seat that's already on the tractor. You're going to lift it up, it goes into place, and then you click the other lever here for it to spin around. Pretty simple to do. So we've got the seat turned around on this Emax 20. If you want to come up here and I'll show you, next step you got to do is, there's a step to get on here, but before you jump on, you want to make sure that the 2 pins are pulled out that keep it locked in place, and that would be there for transport. I pull the small pin out, and this is the one that keeps it from swinging left to right, and then this exact same pin system keeps the arm from going up and down. On these machines, you're going to come with a toolbox, got a nice place to keep them. So you store your pins, you have a step and a handle. You can very easily get on the machine. They're footholds with a abrasive material, keep you a little bit secure here. You want to put your outriggers down. You can run the throttle up and this thing will move a little bit faster, but for what we're doing here in this video, we're not in a really big hurry and we don't want it to be super loud. Put our outriggers down, get lifted up to make the tractor stationary, giving you an opportunity to do more work. Now the 2 small handles are the ones that operate your outriggers, and then these 2 handles do everything else. So the one on my left, your right, is going to lift and lower the lower part of the arm. The second one, forward and backward, lift and lower the second hydraulic arm. Then if you want to go left and right, you can curl and push out the actual bucket. So on this machine, we'll show you what the complete and total reach is. It's brand new, so I don't want to get it all dirty. I don't know how far that is. What do you think, Ben? Is that probably 8-10 feet? Yeah, 9 feet or something like that is the reach on this machine. So let's say you wanted to do a little bit of digging. You're digging a ditch or a trench around something, you would be able to dig. I don't want to hit these other tractors either, but you'd be able to dig all within your reach. As you can see, left, right, out in front of you. And then your next step would be to lift the machine back up, lift your outriggers. In the case that you wanted to just move a few feet, you wouldn't have to lift everything all the way up or put it exactly back in place. I'll do it here just for fun. You're going to jump down, spin your seat around, then push the lever that allows it to lower. Jump on the tractor, use your hydraulic transmission to go forward, backwards, whichever direction you need to go. In the case that you wanted to backfill, you can put the float function on in your bucket and you can fill back up. And that's sort of how you use a backhoe. We're going to go now back to the service department. We're going to take one off and show you what that consists of.
So what you want to do is put the outriggers down just till they're just touching the floor. Then you put your boom down on the ground. Right underneath here, there's a pin. Pull out your pins, one on each side. Put just a little bit of weight on your outriggers. Pull out your main pins. Move your outriggers down just a little bit more. A little bit on each side, not much. What you're trying to look for is it to come out of this hook right here. Once we're up above that, we can just pull forward with the tractor. See how it goes up right there? Now you want to be careful right here that you don't go too high, because if you go up too high, you can actually contact the fender with the loader or the backhoe. After you come away from it, you go ahead and shut your engine off, and you can disconnect your two hydraulic couplers. What's very important about this part is the two couplers that are on the tractor have to be connected back together in order for you to be able to use the tractor. That allows the hydraulics to flow from the loader to the 3-point. Then you would take your top link that's stored here on the backhoe, put it on right here. And then you're ready to go hook up to your 3-point implement. Box blade, scrape blade, bush hog. So another good thing to do after taking the backhoe off is these two hoses right here that come from the backhoe. They do not have to be connected, but what happens is as the backhoe sits, it can leak down. That can cause pressure to get onto one of these lines, and that pressure is a little bit hard to relieve. So what I do is I just always hook the two hoses together. That way, whenever you go to unhook the hoses, there's no pressure on there. The pressure's been neutralized. So whenever you go to hook back up to the backhoe again, this will most likely be down a little bit as we've lowered it down a little. Then you just unhook these hoses, unhook the hoses from your tractor, and then you'll make the connection back. Take your top link back off. So now that you've got your hydraulic hoses connected back up, you can start the tractor up. Raise it up a little bit. You can see the lower pins. You're trying to get them to go in over top of those two hooks, so you can stay right here on the tractor, just using your controls. Sometimes it'll require a time or two, just backing in, just to make sure you get it right. Once you get locked on, just raise your outriggers. Then you can come back and put your main pins in. You might need to move the rear boom just a little bit to allow the pin to line up. Go right back in. Once you get it right, it's easy. It goes in and out smooth. Same thing on the other side. And you can raise your outriggers all the way up. Bring your boom back up off the ground. And then if you're going to be hauling it down the road, you can put your transport pins back in. You got one right through here. Then you have another one right here. And that's how you take the backhoe off on the Emax 20.
Let's say you're maybe an electrician or a plumber and you're using a backhoe quite often. This might be an attachment that you really need. If you think you're only going to need it every now and then, you have to ask yourself, is the value of it worth the amount of times maybe you could rent a mini excavator from your local rental company or things like that. It's a very useful tool. I've taken one of these home before. We have a couple used ones around here, and I've taken one home before, dug up some really big stumps. Maybe I'll add some pictures in this YouTube video of that, but you can do a lot of big work with this. You can take down a tree, you know, so big that you couldn't put your arms around it with this. It just takes you a little bit longer with this particular smaller tractor. Of course, the larger the machine, the more work you can do. So that's really the number one thing we have to do in our sales department here at King Machinery is determine what a customer needs, and the backhoe is quite often a number one requested item, and then probably about half the people that request it end up not going with it when they kind of get down to the core of what they are actually after. So that's just my opinion. Some people are going to use it a lot, some people aren't going to get their money's worth out of it.